Nerdrotic.com.
You know, I could spend the first 2/3 of this video going over the discourse that is surrounding the PR nightmare that is the Acolyte, and then inexplicably distance myself from it, something I wouldn't do. And although there'll be time to do that in the future, we're not going to do it this time. No, we're going to do the worst thing you could possibly do to this show. Describe what happens in it. So let's see what Leslie Headland has in store for George Lucas's lore as she marches it up to Harvey's private suite in the Four Seasons. Previously on The Acolyte.
An Acolyte kills without a weapon.
This is awful in every way.
Forgive me.
Where is their father?
They have no father.
That's impossible!
Is he or they with us?
May's objective is not solely her own.
What the actual fuck did you just say to me right now?
Man, I'm dead.
Osha being alive changes everything. I'll turn myself over to the Jedi.
He'll kill you.
After some much needed pronouns in space, our room temperature IQ Jedi are meandering around planet Gobbledygook in a race against diverse non-binary antagonists and Asian Ezra Miller to pad time in a filler episode and to find the Jedi Wookiee Kelnaka. Diverse non-binary antagonist decides she's not an antagonist anymore. Kelnaka, the Jedi Wookiee, gets killed off screen, and it all culminates in a force push. This brings us to the second half of what was obviously one episode cut in half within a series with enough story to fill maybe an after-school special. After being force pushed by Smilo Ren, diverse non-binary protagonist wakes up halfway through what we are told is the best lightsaber duel since the Phantom Menace. Well, I can't honestly say yes or no because most of that must have happened behind the trees on the repurposed set from the Jungle Cruise. May and the audience are able to peer through a couple of trees and witness Smilo Ren dispatch 3 Jedi with ease. And then, based on what happened to the Jedi Wookiee Kelnaka, mortally wound Shillmonger. Smilo Ren then turns around and sets his sights on diverse non-binary protagonist and tries to kill her.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Why does Smilo Ren want to kill her now when he had a great opportunity to do it 5 minutes ago in this scene? But not to worry after Smilo Ren throws his lightsaber that cuts some trees that had the good sense to wait to fall dramatically. Diverse non-binary protagonist is saved by Deus Ex Manchurian.
Well, isn't that convenient for you?
Now, where the hell was Master Soul when his fellow Jedi were getting shish kebabbed? Don't know. Diverse female protagonist is sent off with Shillmonger to go back to the ship until she comes up with a better idea than the Jedi to deal with Smilo Ren later on in the script. And then we overused Wipe to diverse non-binary antagonist who doesn't want to be an antagonist anymore. After she steals Kelnaka, the Jedi Wookiee's lightsaber, she's confronted by X-23. And then diverse non-binary antagonist who doesn't want to be an antagonist anymore tries to kill X-23 for wanting to arrest her.
You're under arrest for the murder of Master Andara. The murder of...
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Wasn't it in just the last episode that diverse non-binary antagonist, right when she decided she didn't want to be an antagonist, says she wants to turn herself in?
Osha being alive changes everything. I'll turn myself over to the Jedi.
Make up your mind.
And there's a lot of fighting in this episode. Master Soul and Smilo Ren take a couple of hacks, speak a couple of lines.
What master hides his face from his pupil? What?
Then it cuts away to X-23 fighting diverse non-binary antagonist who didn't want to be an antagonist, but now she's an antagonist again. We also find out Smilo Ren has a helmet made out of a metal ripped off from the EU that also works like Magneto's.
Show your face.
And let you read my thoughts.
And after dispatching almost a dozen Jedi with ease, Smilo Ren leaves Soul when he has him dead to rights. He goes off to fight X-23 right after she subdues diverse non-binary antagonist who's decided to be an antagonist again. And wouldn't you know, after Smilo Ren easily dispatched almost a dozen Jedi, he has a tough time with the strong female Padawan. And we've arrived at the point in the script where diverse non-binary protagonist has come up with a better idea than the Jedi to take out Smilo Ren by using the bugs that are attracted to light. And yes, I can hear you now, dear viewer. Wasn't there a bunch of lightsaber dueling in the forest? Yes, it's only the type of light the script calls for. Speaking of lightsaber duels, we get one between X-23, the guy from Squid Game, and Smilo Ren, and Screen Rant reported before the episode aired that we'd be getting the best lightsaber duel since The Phantom Menace. After the episode aired, Screen Rant reported we got the best lightsaber duel since Revenge of the Sith, when in reality we got the best lightsaber duel since the last lightsaber duel. Then something shocking happens. Strong female Padawan gets killed by Smilo Ren. How do I know? Well, she doesn't just get a shot in the gut, she gets shanked 3 times. To be fair, so far this was not the worst episode of The Acolyte, largely due to the fact that there was very little dialogue. That's about to change. Let's get stupid. There's a standoff and Smilo Ren throws his cloak to distract the guy from Squid Game.
Oi, Gary! I used that clip in my review.
Yup!
Then Smilo Ren takes the wanted fugitive that's killed Jedi hostage. Now let's not get bogged down with the details like Smilo Ren not having his helmet on and Master Soul could probably get in his head, and considering Smilo Ren and diverse non-binary female antagonists are responsible for the death of dozens of Jedis, I consider this a win-win. But no, Master Soul tosses his lightsaber.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
And this buys us time for some lore-shattering monologuing. Remember this guy from the prequels?
Impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium.
Well, it turns out the Sith haven't been extinct for a millennium.
What are you?
I have no name.
Wait a minute, is this just footage of Ezra Miller in Hawaii?
But a Jedi like you might call me Sith.
It looks like poor Wikipedia is going to have to rush out and change the lore for Ki-Adi-Mundi again by stating he's not only a Jedi Knight, he's also the galaxy's biggest asshole. And for the nuance of first, it's not about whether or not the Sith existed, it's about whether or not the Jedi were aware of them. And we round out our bad writing with a title reference.
I want a pupil, an acolyte.
What, we some kind of
acolyte?
It's not like George Lucas's Shakespeare or anything, but can you imagine any of this going on in his Star Wars? Qui-Gon Jinn sitting there going, there's something going on behind the scenes, some sort of Phantom Menace. And after all this, we find out what Smilo really wants, to be his true, authentic self.
What do you want?
Freedom to wield my power the way I like, without having to answer to Jedi like you.
And then there's some good news. It looks like Shieldmonger walked off his mortal wound only to get his neck snapped. And now all the Jedi from this mission are dead except for Soul. I guess we know what Order 65 was. And this is where things get really dumb, right? When Soul is about to kill Smilo, diverse non-binary protagonist stops him to keep Master Soul from breaking the Jedi rules. This is the point in the script where diverse non-binary protagonist has a light bright enough to attract the bugs to take Smilo Ren away to appear in another episode. Now, after stunning that guy from Squid Game, we get the big reunion between diverse non-binary antagonist and diverse non-binary protagonist. Now, you think we'd get some sort of apology from diverse non-binary antagonist for trying to kill diverse non-binary protagonist, but no, we just get the Jedi suck and it's hard to argue with in this show. And diverse non-binary female antagonist refuses to be arrested again by her sister, even though she was perfectly willing to do it last episode. And diverse non-binary protagonist ends up getting knocked out by her sister, who strips her naked, puts on her clothes, and steals her identity, but not after giving herself a lightsaber haircut. And now we know what the Acolyte is. No, it's not Frozen meets Kill Bill. It's the Parent Trap, or the Jedi Trap. Diverse non-binary antagonist posing as diverse non-binary protagonist then meets up with Jedi Master Soul, whose ability to look into someone's mind must not be working that day, along with not being able to smell burning hair or spot the spiral on May's forehead that Osha doesn't have. And I have to agree with my favorite editor, Perry Chan, when he said, best episode so far, 1 out of 10. And this is why the Acolyte sucks. Over a dozen Jedi die, and I don't care. It's poorly produced, it's poorly directed, it's poorly edited. Hell, I bet the catering sucks. And most importantly, it's poorly written without any engaging characters, which is a shame because it's a waste of a couple of good actors. And the bottom line is this, outside of my own, the YouTube videos about the Acolyte are far more entertaining than the Acolyte. And we've come to a point with Lucasfilm We don't even need to tell jokes to embellish our reviews. All we have to do is describe what actually happens in the show. That's the joke. And look, I made it through an entire video without talking about the political discourse surrounding the Acolyte, like queer creator of gayest Star Wars series claps back at haters who claim it's woke propaganda with lesbian space witches.
Nerdrotic.com.
If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.
I'm not transgender, non-binary. I don't want to be searched by a man. I'm transgender, non-binary, and I don't want to be searched by a man. I claim my Fourth Amendment rights.